Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. Been running my Team Associated 14B a few times now. I've driven it on the street, also took it down to my local indoor 1/10 scale clay track a couple times and ran probably 10 to 15 battery packs through it. So just want to give you my initial thoughts about the buggy and some tips as well, things that I think improved it a little bit. So first of all is a 1/14 scale 4-wheel drive electric buggy from Team Associated. Comes in an RTR kit. I picked up the version without a battery and charger because I had my own batteries, and but they also sell one with a reedy pack if you need one as well for like $40 more. So yeah, cool little buggy, 1/14 scale. Comes as an RTR basically. So I drove it on the street a little bit, which is fine. You know, pretty much everything drives okay on the street except for the Max. Any like super tall monster truck doesn't drive well on the street. But yeah, performed fine, no real issues or anything like that. Then I took it to my local indoor clay track and was running that. And yeah, my thoughts on this. First off, this is definitely a race platform. It has tons of adjustments. I was actually playing with a few different things like sort of the roll center adjustments or camber link adjustments here. I was messing with like the inserts here on the B blocks. You can actually raise or lower the angle of the front arms to get a little more kick up. So yeah, a lot of little adjustments on this. Is pretty cool. 3 steel differentials, front, center, rear. They just come with grease in them out of the box, but you can definitely play with that. And I was testing some changes out as well with those fluids. So on the track, my initial thoughts, it's pretty fast, you know, it goes about 30 miles per hour, maybe a little bit faster than that. So definitely enough speed for like a 1/10 scale track. The motor ran a little bit hot, you know, got up to about 160 degrees, a little bit warmer than I would have liked after one pack, you know, so I generally let it cool a little bit before running another one. It's a little 280 sized motor, 28 by, I don't know, like 45, no, not even 45, like 30 or something. But anyways, yeah, small little motor. Probably could use a little bit bigger motor. Steering servo is very fast. Definitely has plenty of speed. I think the torque is somewhere around 55 inches of torque. Plenty of torque for these small little tires, so no problems there. They are plastic geared, and it does have a servo saver to protect those plastic gears. So this thing could definitely use an upgrade to a metal geared servo and probably like a you know, solid servo horn just to get you a little bit better precision with the steering. I did notice that sort of giving on high traction in the sweepers and stuff. You know, you try to turn, but the servo saver would give and you'd kind of go straight. So kind of annoying. Definitely could use some help there. The ESC, I think it's a 25 to 30 amp ESC. I think it's a rebranded Hobby Wing as well. Applied plenty of amps, no problems there. It does feel like it's set to the punch is set to like 1 or, you know, all the way down. So there's kind of this initial softness on the throttle that I think could be tuned out with a different ESC, because I don't feel like you get full instantaneous throttle response from the motor. So yeah, I'm looking into options for that. And then the radio, the XP120 here from Team Associated, not a very good radio, actually fairly poor actually. You know, a lot of people complain about the Spectrum STX2. This is probably equally as bad and possibly even worse. So not a good radio. I actually have swapped it out for a Futaba radio, and I found the electronics and control to work a lot better. So there is definitely some weird vagueness in the power delivery, the throttle response. The electronics in general are not that great out of the box, so well worth, I think, swapping those out. So with the Futaba, it was tons better. Next thing on the actual driving, the stock tires are really quite poor. They kind of have like these little spikes, or like old school looking spikes on them. Okay on the street, they're fine there, but they wear down pretty fast. On the track, it's super terrible. In the winter here, we use actually slicks, and so those little spiky tires don't work well at all. I did try some WL Toys 144001 tires. They fit just nicely on this. Worked a lot better, but those are still sort of a spike design. And so what I ended up doing is actually sanding these down and saucing the heck out of them, and then they worked actually pretty well. So they're like a near slick now. pretty much sanded down almost all of the tread completely, and it actually works okay with a ton of saucing and tire preparation. But out of the box tires are quite poor. Buggy itself is pretty fun. You know, obviously it's 1/14 scale, so all the jumps are like twice as big as, you know, they would normally be on a 1/10 scale vehicle. Very nimble, pretty good power, flies well. You know, but just very short wheelbase, so you have to be just sort of extra careful when you're driving this thing. You know, there's little pipes and lane pipes and stuff like that are way bigger, and so if you hit something like that, this actually tends to flip, whereas a 1/10 scale would just kind of run into it and just kind of bounce off. So this thing, you know, a little bit twitchy to drive, especially for the amount of power, and if you get the right tires for the amount of traction it has. So you just got to be like extra, you know, extra fast reflexes when you're driving this thing. So I'll put up some video after this of me actually driving on the track. So that was with the stock tires, and you'll see that the track is actually super wet, so the track conditions were pretty poor. The tire selection was really quite poor, so the buggy is just like all over the place. But with some preparation, with better tires, I actually swapped this out for a Futaba radio. So with the Futaba radio, it drove 100 times better, and unfortunately I don't have footage of that to show you the difference, but yeah, just keep that in mind when you see that video. That's kind of out of the box stock, and then with some adjustments. Also made some changes. I went with 5K fluid in the front diff, 7K in the center, and 4K in the rear. Worked pretty well. I'd probably go 5K, 4K next time if I get a chance to swap these out. I also took out the little plastic washer here on the ball stud here. That gives you a little more roll in the rear. The rear end tend to kind of step out a little bit. The front had more traction than the rear, so that kind of balances a little bit, gets you a little more rear traction. And then even with the sanded tires, you know, still out of whack a little bit. So that change I do recommend. Kind of played with that front kick up inserts. So this B block has little inserts you can flip upside down. So I'm running it, the arms a little more flat. It gives you a little more steering. I tried it the other way. It was okay too, just a little lazier, a little more stable down the front straight, but not quite as much handling or steering. So those are the changes I made, and it's driving really well. I'm also looking to other electronics, a different servo, different EC, that kind of thing. And yeah, pretty fun overall. You know, definitely going to continue working on this, playing with the shocks. I also felt like the rear springs, either the shock oil is too thick or the springs are too stiff, because the rear just kind of bounces off stuff. So I'm looking into other springs and trying out different shock oils as well. Anyways, check out this video of me running, and other than that, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications button, and look for more videos soon. Ah!